Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Brittany Charity, and welcome back to Saturday morning story time. Yeah. I hope everybody's doing fantastic today. Ooh, time's been just moving, hasn't it? I really hope we slow down and get to enjoy it. You know what I mean? From the very first time I blessed my eyes on you, boy, my heart said follow through. But I know now that I'm way down on your line, but the waiting feel is fine. So don't treat me like a puppet on a string, 'cause I know how to do my thing. Tears in my eyes burn, tears in my eyes burn, while I'm waiting for my turn. 'Cause I don't wanna, no, I don't wanna wait in vain. No, I don't wanna wait in vain. No, I wanna wait in vain. I don't wanna wait in vain. I don't wanna wait in vain. It's your love that I'm waiting on, and it's your love that I'm running from. It's your love I am waiting on, love I'm running from. We could just take it nice and slow this morning, guys. Life is already moving so fast, so far ahead of us. I mean, sometimes it feels like we're just living to catch up. That can't be the case, because when we go out, we won't be really happy with that. You know what I mean? But all in all, life is suffering. It comes with the package deal, and that's what I'm going to read today to you. Pulling out The Power of Myth by Joseph Campbell, the conversation he had with Bill Moyers. So this is an interview they're having, and I'm going to be going back and forth between them when they start to talk about suffering. And, you know, the power of myth is behind my passion and my love of writing and stories and language, because it's just innate in us. Humans do language. And when you could put a story to a feeling, or to a trial that humans, you know, to our nature, it's powerful, and we can grasp it and we can change it. And I think that in mythology, in all the cultures, there are common threads, and that's what he talks about here, how we're all alike, and how our stories, how different they may seem, it's actually tied in, tells one great big picture. And so now we're just going to jump on into a little bit about what he says about suffering. So Moyers asks, do most myths say that suffering is an intrinsic part of life and that there's no way around it? And Campbell says, I can't think of any that say that if you're going to live, you won't suffer. Myths tell us how to confront and bear and interpret suffering, but they do not say that in life there can be or should be no suffering. When the Buddha declares there is escape from sorrow, the escape is nirvana, which is not a place like heaven, but a psychological state of mind in which you are released from desire and fear. Moyers says, and your life becomes what? Campbell says, your life becomes harmonious, centered, and affirmative. Moyers asks, even with the suffering? Campbell says, exactly. The Buddhists speak of the bodhisattva. He is the one who knows immortality. yet voluntarily enters into the field of fragmentation of time and participates willingly and joyfully in the sorrows of the world. And this means not only experiencing sorrows oneself, but participating with compassion in the sorrows of others. Compassion is the awakening of the heart from bestial self-interest to humanity. The word compassion means literally suffering with. Moyers asks, but you don't mean compassion condones suffering, do you? And Campbell says, of course compassion condones suffering in that it recognizes, yes, suffering is life. And Moyers asks, wait, that life is lived with suffering, ? And Campbell says that life is with the suffering, but you're not going to get rid of it. Who, when, or where has ever been quit of the suffering of life in this world? I had an illuminating experience from a woman who had been in severe physical pain for years, from an affliction that had stricken her in her youth. She had been raised a believing Christian and so thought that this had been God's punishment of her for something she had done or not done at this time. She was in spiritual as well as physical pain. I told her that if she wanted release, she should affirm and not deny her suffering was her life, and that through it she had become the noble creature that she now was. And while I was saying all of this, I was thinking, who am I to talk like this to a person in real pain when I've never had anything more than a toothache? But in this conversation, in affirming her suffering as the shaper and teacher of her life, she experienced a conversion right there. I have kept in touch with her since. That was years and years ago, and she is indeed a transformed woman. Moyers asks, there was a moment of illumination. And Campbell says, right there, I saw it happen. Moyers asks, was it something you said mythologically? Campbell says, yes, although it's a little hard to explain. I gave her the belief that she was herself the cause of her suffering, that she had somehow brought it about. There is an important idea in Nietzsche of amor fati, also known as the love of your fate, which is in fact your life. As he says, if you say no to a single factor in your life, you have unraveled the whole thing. Furthermore, the more challenging or threatening the situation or context to be assimilated and affirmed, the greater the stature of the person who can achieve it. The demon that you can swallow gives you its power, and the greater life's pain, the greater life's reply. My friend had thought, God did this to me. I told her, no, you did it to yourself. The God is within you. You yourself are your creator. If you find that place in yourself from which you brought this thing about, you will be able to live with it and affirm it, perhaps even enjoy it as your life. And then Moyers says, the only alternative would be not to live. And Campbell says, that's right. All life is suffering. Wow, that's some powerful stuff. If you guys have never read it, pick up The Power of Myth by Joseph Campbell. Have a beautiful, beautiful, thought-provoking day, guys. Peace be with y'all. See you on the flip side.